We interrupt this program for a very special announcement, and it's very important too, so listen.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round. You can't find a fighter. I see you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the odds. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
USA!
We now return to our regular scheduled programming, which will start right now.
Hi, my name is Kathy Benz, and I'm Tessa's mama.
And I'm Kathy's husband, and I'm Tessa's papa.
Walter Seals.
There you are. Hello everybody, it's Beanie Studios here, and this is not my house. Right now, I'm at my friend Jackie's house, and she's recording.
Hi.
But anyway, if you made it this far in the series, you know that this is the final episode!
Woo!
Ah, it's sad! But anywho, I just wanted to say a thank you to everyone who has been in this series, everyone who took part in it. I am so thankful for all of you guys and all of your answers, and that you all took this seriously, and I love you all. And I hope to see you all soon enough. And yeah, right now I'm seeing Jackie, but I hope to see the rest of you all so soon. So yes, please enjoy. Thank you. Alright guys, so I'm going to ask you both 5 questions, and either of you can respond. So first question, how has this virus affected you mentally?
It's very draining, knowing that you have to sit in and day out, but we'd rather be safe and keep healthy.
Okay.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay. So how do you feel about our economy right now?
Well, it's pretty poor because there's a lot of people out of work because of the virus. It's affecting a lot of people dramatically.
A lot of unemployment. It's very sad. People don't have jobs. People need jobs. But to reopen the country, you have to stay safe and make sure everybody's healthy before we could reopen.
Okay. So there's obviously been a very bad history of violence throughout the world, but recently there's been like a lot of racial violence towards Asian people because the virus originated in China, and everyone's just blaming all the Asian people. How does that make you guys feel?
I don't think they should blame all the Asian people. I think there was certain scientists in China at the one lab that I really think was the blame for the virus. Wuhan was the name of the lab.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or in Wuhan, the city in China. I think they tried to hide it because they didn't want the world to know how deadly it was.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So, how do you feel about our president right now?
Don't.
Sure. Oh God.
I'd vote for him twice if I could.
What do you think that he's handling this whole thing well? Or-
Yeah, I do. I mean, he only has so many choices. He has only so many things he can do. And no matter what he does, there's always going to be somebody that's going to find fault in the way he's handling it. But my thoughts were like, what would they do if they were in charge? I mean, I think he's doing the best he can. A lot of people don't like him, but I think he's really trying.
He says such stupid stuff. It's unbelievable. Very stupid.
I agree with my mom. I agree with Pop too, but it's just like a lot of stuff that he says can
Putting
be really...
Clorox in your veins.
Yeah.
Well, that was a joke.
Oh.
But they went crazy
No,
over it.
it wasn't a
No,
joke.
it was,
They always.
yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
No, exactly. It was not a joke. No.
Well, they call him a racist when he shut down all the borders for anybody coming into the country. From China, from Spain, from Italy, from all those other countries, Mexico, and that was probably the best thing he did. He wouldn't allow a lot of these people because they're unvetted. They didn't know what kind of diseases they were bringing in.
Okay. Okay. So, final question. So, does it scare you guys that originally when this virus first came out, you guys per se were the ones at higher risk?
Yes.
Do
We
you
still
guys does that frighten you?
Of course it does. Every day. It frightens me. But what we know, I think a lot of them had a lot of issues before. A lot of seniors did die. But they...
For other things that they already had.
Yeah, but they did have a lot of
Had
health
other
issues
problems.
prior to that. I think if you keep isolated and try to stay safe and keep your distance, I think we're all going to make it happen, and it will be better. Hopefully by the summer we will all get together with our families. I just hope so. It's sad. It's just a sad situation in the whole world. But we just got to keep going one foot in front of the other foot. That's it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you,
Oh, you're
Tessa. Very good. Thank you, honey.
So I'm gonna ask you a few questions about COVID-19. Respond as honestly as you can. First question, how has this entire virus affected you mentally?
It's probably made me kind of batty, nuts. Just because it's different things goes with it, and 1, 2, 3 things lead to another, and for the most part, I don't think everybody took it serious as it turned out to be.
Okay.
In the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of people not taking it seriously, how do you feel about our president right now?
I'm not a big fan of the president. I think I'm not a big fan. Yeah.
Okay. So since it's been like many months into this coronavirus outbreak and we are now experiencing what we call a green phase where people kind of can go out and see their friends now, not be quarantined, do you feel a lot safer, or do you still feel like unsafe now that people are going out?
I think it's too soon to start doing things, and it's kind of aggravating because we go from one lockdown, stay home, can't go outside, you know, freedom taken, to okay, now we're gonna go green and we're just gonna do it like this, but we gotta do it like this, and like, basically the government is trying to take over your lifestyle, and I think it was induced by the government, this pandemic, that's what I think.
Okay. So, has there been any like life-changing habits that you now have due to coronavirus?
Yeah, several things. I work in a food warehouse, and at one point when it first began, they was labeling people like that essential workers, and they passed out shirt papers if we got pulled over, for being out at the times that I go to work. So the changes was from just getting up in the morning, making my coffee, drinking it on the way to work. Now I'm like, well, I gotta do a lot of things differently now. One, washing your hands after everything, and before you do anything. But they tempt you before you come through the gate, and then they took that away, and now you walk through a scanner, a body scanner that tempts you. And if you're over a certain degrees, then they'll bring you to the side, but nobody's standing there to monitor it. And I don't even understand how a person would know when they tempt. It is an alarm that goes off, and I think it sets off into the office or something. I'm not sure how that works, but I'm just thinking the change from them tempting us to the gate for us walking through this other thing, it's about the money and the cost. For me, it's just, I'm glad it's something done, but I think it should be more. I think it's too early to start backing off, and okay, we can start doing things now.
Okay.
So yeah.
How does it feel being an essential worker?
I think I'm lucky that I was able to be in a position to where I am, because a lot of people, are hungry out there and can't pay their bills, about to lose their house or apartment, and I was just one of the ones that none of that was an issue for us. I just feel bad for the others, and I think it's okay, so yeah, I like being able to help people too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Thank you, Dad.
You're welcome.
Alright, gonna ask you a few questions about coronavirus. Please answer them as you would, as naturally as possible. Okay. First question: how has this whole virus affected you mentally?
Well, now that we're so far into it all, not really too bad. I looking at the positive, I got to do a lot around the house. I've never been home like for such a long period of time, so I really didn't mind it. I really didn't. I got to do stuff indoors, outdoors, plant gardens, plant flowers.
That's nice.
So it really didn't bother me. I know it was actually kind of fun. Believe it or not. Yeah.
So
it was only frustrating when I went out. That's when I would get upset and really be upset because we had to wait in lines and that was kind of tough. Shopping.
Okay. How have you felt about our economy from this whole point? During this whole time?
I don't know, honey. Since Trump's been in office, I'm not doing bad. I mean, he, sent us a stimulus check. He gave more to the people that were unemployed. I don't know. I think he's trying hard.
So yeah, how do you feel about our president? You like him?
I do. I think he's doing the best he can. It is China's fault. We wouldn't have this pandemic. So I have to agree with him on that.
So do you think that every Asian is responsible, or just the people in China?
China.
Not every Asian is responsible, because there was a lot of violence.
The people in our country had nothing to do with anything. They didn't, But China did. And I agree with 45.
So, since we are in our green phase of coronavirus, do you feel safer, or do you feel a little unsafe now that people are going out?
I felt really good, but now I'm getting nervous again because with schools not sure about starting and doing so much virtual, and there's just still a lot of this going around. But they're saying Fauci's supposed to come up with something by the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So keeping my fingers crossed that maybe by November we'll actually have a vaccine.
I hope so. Yeah, so since you do work at a school, what is your hope for this year?
My hope for this year is that we're going virtual in September, and November 10th is the end of first semester in our school, and I'm hoping right after that we can go back.
Why do you hope all virtual?
I'm not hoping for all virtual, but we are from September.
Oh, did they already say the okay to go virtual?
It's all virtual until November 10th, and then that's the end of the first marking period. And then they will decide after that if we can go back, hybrid, a couple days a week, and things like that. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping by November 10th, maybe there's a vaccine, and maybe we can get back to a little bit more normal.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for interviewing me. This was so much fun. And I guess Trump 2020 said